What if you can conduct 100 client interviews tonight while you sleep, and then wake up to find a list of potentially high ROI projects for each of those clients based off of the interview? Well, this was the question that got us to build this AI-powered client interviewer with n8n, Power Automate, ElevenLabs, and Microsoft Forms. And that's what I'm going to be showing you guys how to build in this video. Okay, so first I'm going to show you what it does. We're going to hop into a demo here, and then I'm going to show you how I built it. So let's go ahead and hop into that demo. So here you can see inside of the Microsoft form, I filled it out, and I put my real number in here, so that's why I'm gonna just show you the part. You can see I put the client company, and I put the company website, and now we'll hit submit. And I've scheduled it a couple minutes in the future here, so we give it a couple minutes and we'll come back to it. Okay, so it's been a few minutes and now I'm getting a call, so I'll go ahead and answer it.
Hi, this is Williams AI agent calling from EntreNova AI. Is this Brandon from the Cheddar Chase?
Yes, it is.
Fantastic. It's a pleasure to connect with you, Brandon. I'm really excited to learn more about the Cheddar Chase and explore how EntreNova AI can help you achieve your business goals. Thank you so much for sharing all this valuable information, Brandon. This has been incredibly helpful in understanding the Cheddar Chase better. We'll be in touch very soon with some tailored solutions.
All right, thank you very much. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you for your time, Brandon. You too. Have a wonderful day.
Okay, so that's the call. Now it's going to hit the now it's going to hit that post call webhook, and I should be getting an email here pretty soon. So let's hop over to that. Okay, so I just got an email in my Outlook, and these are the documents that it sent me. So let's go ahead and open them up and see what's inside. Okay, so the first thing we get is the projects with potentially high ROI. You can see it's broken down by the project title, estimated ROI, and the supporting market insight. Now, the second one is just going to be a spreadsheet with the user's information that they submitted on the questionnaire. So I'm not going to include that because that has my personal information on there. But anyway, so the other thing we get is the AI summary of the call, how it went, and we get the full transcript. So we see here the AI summary is Williams AI agent from EntreNova AI called Brandon from the Cheddar Chase to learn about his business. The agent inquired about the company structure, team size, vision, tech stack, budgetary parameters, pain points, and success metrics. Brandon provided answers which were recorded using a tool. The call concluded with the agent thanking Brandon and promising tailored solutions. So yeah, pretty cool, right? Now let's go ahead and hop into how I built this. Okay, so now let's get into how exactly I made this. So the first thing I did is I came in here into Microsoft Forms and I designed a form. I did this because it's a really simple UI and I just needed a little bit of basic information. So you can see here the first 4 questions or so is all about just scheduling. And then after that, it's all just gathering client information. So once you hit submit, it's going to trigger a Power Automate flow. Inside here, you can see there's a trigger called when a new response is submitted. And it's really simple. You just add the form ID of the form. Now, this is another good thing to note is if you want to use Microsoft Forms, then you'll have to use Power Automate because Microsoft stuff works good with Microsoft stuff, of course. So then after that, it's going to get the response details. It's going to process it. Then it's going to create an event on your Outlook calendar. All right, and then we have another flow here that it's going to trigger whenever a meeting is about to start. So you can see I have a calendar connected to it, and it's going to look ahead 1 minute. So I added the 1 minute in order for any sort of processing that may happen, any sort of delay. So this just gives it some time so the meeting can still be on time whenever the client is expecting it to be. After that, I take the body detail from the event and I convert it from HTML to text. Then I parse the JSON and then I send it to the n8n backend. Okay, so let's jump over into the n8n backend now. Inside of the n8n backend, I have 2 flows for this. So we have a post call webhook and we have a start. Okay, so this is going to get kicked off whenever the Power Automate flow sends it to the n8n. You can see I have a webhook starting node on it, and then it's going to handle some initial processing. And these several nodes here are just going to create some documents that we're going to need later on for the post call webhook. All right. Then after it does that, it's going to create a session as well, and also add, it's going to add any sort of data that it needs into the questionnaire and into the customer info. And you can see it's really simple the way that I'm managing the sessions here for the calls. I just have a Google Sheet with the session ID field and a session data field. All right. And so once this sends this response, once it gets to this node, it's going to send it to the ElevenLabs. All right. So let's jump into ElevenLabs and see what that looks like there. So now inside of ElevenLabs, this is what I have. So I've made an agent, I've given it a prompt. So I've added a few variables here as well. You can see the way that you add variables is just by doing 2 curly braces. And I've given it a first message as well. So this is William's AI agent calling from EntreNova AI, is this name from company. And so you have to make sure whenever you call your agent from n8n that you pass these variables in there. All right, so the agent does the call. What happens after that? Well, you can see here that these are some of the tools that I've included inside of the ElevenLabs agent. It has access to this tool here, which it adds a QA pair, so the question and the answer, and then I've added another webhook tool here, which it sends a message. So it uses this tool if it needs to reschedule. So maybe it calls the user and the user says, oh, you know what, I'm really busy right now. Okay, no problem. So it sends this email to myself, and it says, hey, the user was actually busy. You need to follow up with them and reschedule the interview. All right, so now let's go into the post-call webhook and see what happens there. So inside of the post-call webhook, this is what happens. So it's going to receive some data from n8n. It's going to load the session. Then it's going to find all of the files. And that's what the session data has, is it has the links to all of the files that it initially made. So it has, it's going to add the summary of the conversation. It's going to get the questionnaire, combine the results, and then it's going to pass it to 2 agents here. So you can see there's this one agent, which is an expert business development manager, and it's going to look for several ideas. You can see here, identify 5 potential projects that EntreNova AI could deliver. And after that, it's going to then look, the ROI analyst is going to look and then refine it a little bit more. After that, it's going to add them to these projects, and then it's going to create the folder inside of OneDrive, and then it's going to ultimately just end up sending it, right? Sending it to us. You can see here, it sends it's going to send us the message with all the information we need. So you can see if it gets the info about the customer, if it succeeds, it's going to then search for the file folder, and it's going to take everything from the Google Drive and then switch it to your Microsoft Drive. And so it does this because Google is a little bit easier to work with initially, but if you're in an organization, then you really want to have everything inside of your Microsoft account for backup and security. All right, so it does all that, and then it sends it to you, and then it's going to delete that folder, remove the session off of your Google. So you can see Google is really just acting as a temporary storage, and Microsoft is being where everything ultimately ends up. So that's how that works. All right. If you stuck around this long, I first want to say thank you very much. My name is Brandon. I'm a certified Microsoft AI engineer, and I want to share something else with you, because you may be a driven entrepreneur. You may be someone who's looking to streamline processes for your own organization or for others. So me and my friend William, we actually just made a school community. We just hit 49 members as well. So there's a lot of really cool stuff you can get in here, and we're really trying to grow it. Inside here, you can ask me questions. I also made a full n8n tutorial for beginners. So this takes you from very beginner to having a good foundation inside of n8n if you've never used it before. And yeah, there's a lot of really nice stuff in here, and we'd really love to have you. And thank you so much once again for watching this video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in whatever I do next. Thank you.